Hey, how's it going? Gareth James here for mttpokerschool.com, and this is the Hand of the Week. This comes from the final table of the Sunday home game from this past Sunday. And the blinds are 5100 with a 10 chip ante. You can see we are still nine-handed, so the final table has just begun. And we see Smitty go ahead and shove under the gun here for 8 big blinds with pocket kings, and it folds around to Gorvy with the ace 7 suited. Now, Gorvy goes and calls here, and I think there's one thing that's right about this hand and one thing that's very, very wrong. Let's start with the thing that's very, very wrong here. Ace 7 suited, definitely not a call here. You're just losing a lot of money. It's not a chip EV call or plus chip EV call. So you should definitely just be going ahead and folding here. The thing that's right, though, is the fact that if you are going to call in this situation, that you do just call and you don't shove. Now, the reason for that is that there are still a number of players behind who can wake up with a very, very strong hand. And when you just go ahead and call in this situation, you leave yourself with a little bit of room still to fold. So that's really, really important here. I think if Gorvy had, say, 1,000 chips left behind, it's a much better spot to go ahead and shove. So the key concept that this video is all about today is about calling to give yourself an option to go ahead and fold. And that means that, you can go ahead and you can call with like 10s, jacks, queens, kings, and aces with the intention of calling if anybody else jams behind. So it's not a case of, you only call with the hands that you can call if someone else shoves. So therefore you end up going and shoving all the other hands. That's not what I mean. So what I really want to focus on here is the fact that we should be calling with our entire range of hands that we feel like that are profitable here, and then making a decision should someone wake up with a hand and decide to jam. So let's now go and have a look at the key mistake here. The ace 7 suited definitely isn't a call in this situation. So we're going to have a look at Holdem Resources Calculator, and what I've done here is I've created an advanced hand. Let's pull this down so you can see it. And I've got the stack sizes in there. And what we've done here is we've gone for open all in, and we've allowed flatting of opens. Now, if I took this off, then it would just have everyone shoving, and that's not what we're focusing on today. So we want to have the option to flat the open, and then an option to shove as well, because it might be there are some hands that Gorvy should just be shoving. Maybe my idea that we should just be calling with our entire range, giving ourselves the option to fold, is incorrect. So we're going to find out. So let me click next, and given it's under the gun or Smitty that shoves, we can just leave it at that and then click finish. So this is the result. And you can see that this is Smitty's range that he should be shoving in the situation, 18%. We click this button next to the green dot, and now we've got lots of different options. Now, if you were just doing a basic hand here, you would just have the 3-bet option for most players unless they have fewer chips than Smitty does, and therefore it'd just be a call. So you just get one option normally, but here we've given them 2 options. So if we go down to Gorvy, you can see now that he can potentially 3-bet a tiny part of his range, so 3-bet all in with these hands, and then flat with these hands. Now if we just dive in and have a little closer look, you can see that actually these hands in an equilibrium solution don't happen very often. So I feel like we can probably just go ahead and ignore them. So my hypothesis, my prediction was correct, that we should probably just go ahead and call with our continuing range, and then make a decision should someone else wake up with a hand. So in this situation, we can go with 7s plus ace 10 suited, ace jack off. But if we click the EV button, you see that 7's not doing that well. Given that there are a lot of players left to act behind us who could wake up with a hand, I think we could probably just ditch the 7s. Similarly, we could probably ditch ace 10 suited and, potentially ace jack off suit as well. Now, the nice thing here is that you can call and fold if someone jams. So it wouldn't be the end of the world if we called with ace jack off and then folded. Having said that, it's important now to go in and see what happens if someone does shove, because what we might find is that versus certain players, calling with the ace jack off here and then calling when they jam is really, really profitable. So we now click this button because Gorvy's decided to call, and that was the correct thing to do in this situation. But now let's see if, Aerotop had 10 big blinds at the start. So his shoving range should be this, 8s plus ace queen suited, not even ace queen off, really, it's super marginal. And then you can see that because there's so many chips in the pot, so I'll just go back to the hand here, if Aerotop suddenly decided to shove here, it's only costing Gorvy an extra, 400 chips. therefore he shouldn't be folding anything. And you can see that here, that you can call with any two cards. You know, like 3-2 offsuit here is still worth 2.75 big blinds. So it's a huge win in this spot. Definitely should be making the call. But let's say that instead someone like Barony Rock, who has 47 big blinds, decides to shove. Well, now Gorvy has an easier decision with 10s and ace queen suited, because they're not going to be profitable enough, and then he can just go with jacks plus and ace king. So really important to to focus on who's actually doing the shoving. I think if we look at Barony Rock's range in this situation, him shoving 10s plus ace king seems reasonable. Even 10s not that profitable, but jacks plus ace king, and then when it comes back round to Gorvy, going tighter than that shoving range makes a lot of sense. It's still for a decent chunk of Gorvy stack, and I just think that we should be using these programs a lot to hone in on these sort of situations. But the general concept that I went on about a few minutes ago is that calling here is going to be much better than going ahead and shoving. The key mistake though was calling with the ace-7 suited. We can actually now look at how unprofitable ace-7 suited is, and we're losing over a big blind every time we make this call. So it's a really, really big mistake, and we shouldn't be doing this. So on the one hand, it's good that we're calling with the intention of making a decision should someone else behind wake up with a hand, but the actual hand we chose to call was a really, really big mistake. So I hope that helps, and I will catch you next time for next week's Hand of the Week. Thanks for checking out this video. If you would like free strategy articles and YouTube videos and free podcast episodes delivered straight to your inbox, then head over to mttpokerschool.com right now and sign up for our mailing list. I'll even throw in a free push fold guide and opening hand cheat sheet. What are you waiting for? Head to mttpokerschool.com right now.